What's going on? It's your boy, Mr. Lewis. I have finally seen Supergirl, the movie that I've been anticipated to watch since the year began. And I gotta say, woof. All right, first of all, guys, this is not a good comic book adaptation. This is not even a good movie. I don't even know where to begin. I don't like bashing on films. I hate bashing on films. In fact, I want every movie to succeed. But the fact that I only spent $3 on this movie and it's only an hour and 45 minutes and it still feel like I got robbed is a problem. The good news about the movie, or the good things about the movie, is Millie Alcott as Supergirl and Jason Momoa as Lobo. They work great. They're awesome in the movie. That being said, that's about as good as it gets. The movie in itself is not that great. This character, this little girl by the name of Ruby, played by some unknown actress I'm not really sure of. You have this movie starting out with the death of her innocent family, as you probably heard in the trailer already. Right off the first 5 minutes of the movie, it just starts off as really stupid. In fact, the movie is based on a lot of characters that do some really stupid things. Forgive me if I happen to spoil this part for you, but a brother happens to see his little sister look very disturbed behind some very jarred closed doors, and he happens to jump scare her right in the middle of when they're being invaded by the brigands, which is led by a very hungry creme de la creme. His name is Creme in the movie, but I call him Creme de la Creme. The guy was eating so much I literally thought he was Brad Pitt, but lo and behold, he wasn't. And during that jump scare, he ends up getting an axe to the back, and they die. And only one that makes it out alive is, of course, the little girl who is out to seek vengeance on her family. So she starts going around the galaxy seeking for a worthy, brave soul that will help on her quests. And lo and behold, she comes across a drunken caller on her 23rd birthday who is lamenting over the death of her whole entire colony on Krypton, which happened many, many years ago. But anyway, like I said, this movie is a little less about Supergirl and more about this little girl right here. This little girl, she looks like she has some great acting chops, but I found her character in the movie to be quite annoying. But then again, I don't know how a character would actually react or act if they were out to seek vengeance on the death of their family members. And to harp back on the death of her innocent family, which she so emphasized in the movie. I gotta say, in that very first 5 minutes, when the parents knew that the brigands were actually arriving to take a very precious item that they wanted to take from them, they didn't seem that innocent. In fact, the way they were talking to Creme, or Creme de la Creme, the way they were talking to him was a bit snarky, almost like, okay, take what you want now, go. And then it was, in a way, that they kind of came off rude and disrespectful. I'm sorry, but if it was me and I knew that this space pirate could actually kill me and my entire family and everything I have to live off, I probably wouldn't be snarky with that. I wouldn't say their family was that innocent. And from there, you have the quest to find the brigands and Krem and to vanquish them, which kind of seemed like a B budget version of Guardians of the Galaxy. And I gotta say, when it came to every single fight scene having a needle drop, it just, first of all, a lot of the songs didn't even fit. Second of all, you didn't need to have a song for every single fight sequence that went on. The fight sequences wasn't even that great. A lot of it was choppy. Everything had one color tone to it. I'm sorry, I didn't know we were back in the Snyderverse. Don't get me wrong, I actually enjoyed the Snyderverse for what it was. When you go to a different planet, there's something that looks different about it. Every planet they went on looked the same. Nothing looked different. And it was always a bar they were going to. There was really no character development or the environment itself. And there's even a sequence in the movie that has to deal with another space pirate where I felt like it really didn't serve a purpose in the film. It seemed like wasted potential. Speaking of wasted potential, Jason Momoa's Lobo. Sad to say, Jason Momoa's Lobo didn't need to be in the film. In fact, seeing Jason Momoa's Lobo in the film almost felt like an afterthought. It was like they kind of spliced his role into the movies just to give you something interesting. Now, I feel like there's no spoiler to say that Superman does make a cameo appearance in the movie. Every time Superman is on there, you have this sense of joy. And I hate to compare it with James Gunn's Superman movie. And honestly, I won't do that at all. I compare this movie to other female lead superhero movies that had to struggle with some type of barrier they had to get past in order to vanquish an even bigger threat and did it better. For instance, Thunderbolts or Wonder Woman. I didn't really like Wonder Woman that much, but it was still done better. I really felt like this movie didn't go anywhere. It wasn't fun. I didn't enjoy this movie. It really sucked the joy out of it. A bit on the nose because the whole premise is you're seeing, Supergirl lose her entire civilization, and then you're watching this little girl lose her family. So you feel like, okay, you have synergy here, but there really was none. There was nothing to go off of. And I feel like in the end, this movie was just wasted potential. You saw the potential there, it was just wasted. So, quite honestly, I felt like this was a movie that could have happened a little later down the line. Had they brought the original DC Trinity, you had your Superman, you could have had your Batman, your Wonder Woman, and then maybe later down the line, have your Supergirl. But I guess the same could be said for any DC character. If you happen to put them on there, if the script is bad, then the script is bad. I wouldn't say this is all a lost cause for DC. I still have faith in James Gunn. I still feel like this is going to be a great studio that brings new life into the DC universe. But this one was definitely a step back after Superman. If you want to see this movie, I'd say wait for streaming. Save your money. I mean, well, actually, you don't have to wait that long because the movie's gonna literally come out on VOD close by the ending of the month. Those are my thoughts on Supergirl. I hope you have a better time watching this movie than I did. I'll catch you guys on the next video. Peace.